let's get into it. We're about to pull apart the blueprint of one of the most controversial and, frankly, mysterious documents ever published. A text that claims to be a secret plan for nothing less than total world control. That's a pretty intense quote to start with, isn't it? It's a modern take, for sure, but it really taps into this feeling that some people have, this sense that we're trapped in a system we can't see, one that we ourselves are helping to build. So here's the thought. What if that feeling of unease, that sense that the world is spinning out of our control, what if that wasn't an accident? What if it was all engineered? Part of a meticulous, centuries-old plan? Well, that is the explosive claim at the very heart of the document we're looking at today. It first showed up in Russia, way back in 1905, and it's called The Protocols of the Meetings of the Learned Elders of Zion. You know, the title itself is a huge clue. The word protocol, it's just a formal way of saying minutes from a meeting. And that's exactly what this document pretends to be, the secret leaked minutes from 24 meetings where a shadowy group called the Elders of Zion supposedly laid out their entire strategy for global domination. To really get your head around the mindset here, you have to start with this line from the very first protocol. By the law of nature, right lies in force. It's basically saying that good and evil don't matter. The only thing that's real is power. Might makes right. So what's the end game? What is all this power for? Well, according to this text, the goal is crystal clear. It's complete world sovereignty, a single global supergovernment that wipes away all national borders, all cultures, all individual freedom. And this isn't just some vague wish. The protocols present themselves as a detailed roadmap, a step-by-step guide to bring every nation on Earth under one single rule, to reach what they call the threshold of sovereignty over all the world. Okay, so how on earth would you even begin to achieve something so massive? Well, the text lays out a series of what you can only call weapons. But they're not bombs or guns. They're weapons designed to rot societies from the inside out. And it all boils down to these three things. You control the money, you control the information, and maybe most importantly, you control the very ideas people think are their own. Let's break each of these down. First up, the weapon the protocols claim is the most powerful of all: gold. But we're not just talking about shiny metal here. This is about total control over capital, finance, the whole global economy. The plan it describes as basically economic warfare. This quote just perfectly captures the strategy. The idea is that by controlling all the money, the elders can create a crisis. They can weaken a country until it's so desperate that it has no choice but to grab the straw they offer, which is usually a loan that sinks them even deeper. So the stated result of all this is a world where huge economic crises aren't just happening by chance. They're being deliberately created. Nations get hooked on foreign loans, and those loans are used to just drain them dry until they're totally bankrupt and have to do whatever they're told. Okay, so you have control of the money. What's next? You have to control the narrative. And that brings us to weapon number 2, the press. Because if you control what people hear and see, you control what they believe. And right here, this is the key. The text says the press is the perfect weapon because it lets you wield enormous power from the shadows. You can shape public opinion, you can start arguments, you can direct people's anger, all while no one knows who's really pulling the strings. And the endgame, according to Protocol 12, is a complete monopoly on information. The plan is to funnel all news through just a handful of agencies that you control. That way, the public only ever sees or hears what you want them to. Now this brings us to the third and, honestly, the most clever and diabolical weapon described in the text. It's not a physical thing at all. It's an idea. The idea of freedom. This might be the most shocking claim in the whole document. The text boasts that its authors were the ones who first gave the world the ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity. But not as a gift. They call them cankerworms, a poison designed to eat away at society from the inside. So what's the point? The goal is to turn the idea of freedom into a weapon of chaos. By convincing the masses that they have unlimited rights and no responsibilities, the text says you can get them to tear down their own traditions, their own governments, their own societies, clearing the path for a new power to rise from the ashes. The text even provides this powerful and kind of creepy metaphor to visualize this long-term strategy of conquest, the symbolic snake. According to notes that came with the original publication, this snake represents a path of secret conquest, slithering through history. It starts in ancient Greece, coils through Rome, then Madrid, Paris, Berlin, and finally St. Petersburg. Each city represents a major power allegedly being corrupted and undermined from within, all as part of one long, continuous plan. So what happens when the snake finally reaches its destination? What does the world actually look like once this plan is complete? Well, the protocols paint this incredibly stark picture. On one side, you've got what it calls the Goyim state, which just means all non-Jewish nations. It describes this world as one of liberalism and chaos, and it says this will all be replaced by our kingdom, a new world of absolute despotism and total order, where ideas like rights are replaced with duty, and the rule of the mob is replaced by the absolute rule of a single king. Now, we've gone through this incredibly detailed and elaborate plan, but it is absolutely crucial that we pause here and state this as clearly as possible. This document, almost from the moment it appeared, has been exposed, denounced, and proven to be a fraudulent text, a forgery. And really, that leaves us with the biggest question of all, doesn't it? Why? Why does a document from over 100 years ago, one that we know for a fact is a fake, why does it continue to circulate? Why do people still read it and believe it? What is it about this specific blueprint that gives it such a strange and lasting power?